Hey friends, Tim Alatorre here with Domum. I'm standing in front of Santa Maria del Mar in Barcelona, and the building itself honestly isn't the most amazing piece of architecture we've seen on this trip through Europe. It was construction completed in 1383, and so it's a medieval church, and you know, it's a beautiful church. But one of the things that makes this so special is the way it was built. So there was a cathedral already here in Barcelona, and the people were frustrated with the corruption and some of the things that were going on there. And so in the early 1800s, and actually there was mention of this church as early as 900 AD, but in the early 1300s the people decided to build their own church. And so the fishermen and the workers, they paid for this whole thing. The church did not pay for it. It was built by the people and paid for by the people. And from outside here, you can see all this glass. There's some of the most beautiful stained glass we've seen in Europe. And I'll show some videos of that afterwards, after I'm done talking here. But last night we were here in Barcelona with a good friend of mine, and he's an architect in Barcelona, and his father was a famous glazier, a stained glass maker. And one of the things he told me about his dad and the process of making stained glass, his father would tour all around Europe looking at different cathedrals and churches and studying what the masters through the ages had done with the stained glass. And he'd pray, and he'd just lament on how to capture the imagery that he felt was appropriate for the church. And you know, all the stained glass here in this chapel behind me was done. Some of it was done a long time ago, original with the church. Some of it was done more recently because of earthquakes and fires that have damaged parts of the building, and they've had to replace portions of it. But it's absolutely gorgeous. And if you look at the stained glass, and you look at this building, and think about the dedication and the persistence. So the construction of this took about 60 years to complete. And there's some imagery on the door. I'll get a close-up of this right after this, of the fishermen who were carrying the stones one by one here to the church site, and where they would, after they were done working for the day, they'd come here and they'd work to build this. And repeated over and over and over again through history, people have sacrificed great deals to build. I'm gonna fix my collar here. Sacrificed a great deal to build monumental pieces of architecture. Sainte-Chapelle in Paris, France is an amazing piece of architecture, right? The stained glass and the structure of that is just something that's very impressive. St. Paul's Cathedral in London, likewise, incredible. What makes this one incredible, and inside is beautiful, but it's the passion of the people behind it, right? And I think that's the success, and don't get me wrong, Sainte-Chapelle and St. Paul's Cathedral had very dedicated laborers. There's no doubt about it that the people who built those were very dedicated. But the sacrifices that went into building this over a 60-year period by the locals here is something that's truly special. And that's the secret to a great project, right? Is that passion, and that energy, and that drive. That's something that us in Domum, we try to bring to all of our projects. We don't have a project that's lasted 60 years. And in another video that's on our channel here, I'm talking about La Sagrada Familia, also a tremendous labor of love. But on your team, you want people who have passion and who have drive and who are doing it because they love the work. And this Santa Maria del Mar in Barcelona is definitely an example of that. Okay, so enough of me, but if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And afterwards, there's some shots of the interior and also those doors that I talked about. Okay, until next time, I'm Tim Alatorre with Domum. Thanks.